All right.
Let's
Okay,
rock and
thank you,
roll.
everyone. Let's rock and roll. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, all you guys, to another news and updates. For over 4 years, every Saturday, we've been bringing you the news from in and around the AltSpace VR community, world building news and tips, event news, Discord tips, and information you need to know about the hardware, software, apps, and industry that support our corner of the metaverse.
Absolutely. Now let's see, Karen. We don't have much to report on this week, do we? We
Nope,
have a
not at all.
nope. We have a hurricane-style storm that just swept through the UK and is bruising the Netherlands and Scandinavian countries. We're in the third year of a pandemic that is still infecting and killing people. Trump might finally see his day in court. Wouldn't that be awesome? War between Russia and the rest of the world is coming to a boiling point in the Ukraine. And oh yeah, the Outspace VR campfire was shut down this week. Did I miss anything?
Oh, I forgot about that,
I
Laurel.
know,
That's
so did
right.
I.
Oh, and you did miss one thing actually, and
What?
maybe I'm a little late with this news, but apparently there's a new variant or subvariant of I think it's Omicron subvariant. The BA.2 virus
Yep.
is spreading now. So
Yep.
I don't know.
We
I don't
couldn't
know
be
too much
happy
about
enough
it,
with
but
alpha, beta,
really.
carotene, and delta and Omicron. We now got a variation of Omicron. Come
Great.
on.
I know. Jeez. Oh, but anyway, but you're right, Laurel. It's not much of a newsy week, right?
Yeah,
There's not that
there's
much
nothing
going
going
on.
on.
No, nothing at all. Okay. All right, you guys, we joke, of course. All of these things are serious, but we wanted to give you the news here in AltSpace VR. We wanted to give it a little perspective. It is serious. It impacts many of us directly and indirectly. So today, we're focusing the show on the town hall and news this past week that brought us changes here in AltSpace VR. We know some of you are furious about the changes, others are pessimistic, some are even predicting people will be abandoning AltSpace. But there's actually some in our community who are not just hopeful, but thrilled, in fact, cheering the decisions.
Now, one thing we can all agree on is that these decisions were terribly executed, right? That's for sure. That's right. Okay. That we can all agree on. Yesterday's town hall left us more empty than full, right?
Right.
We would have loved to have heard more, known more, and asked more questions. Now, while we can moan and groan and play couch potato sportscaster running through a play by play review of their poor implementation, we are eager to let you know about the decisions that were made and how they will impact you and hear about your thoughts and your feelings.
So this week's show will start off with the AltSpace VR news about the changes and what hasn't changed as well. And then we'll open up the discussion early for you to have your say.
Now, this show is produced by our beloved producer, Mark, who just had a hell of a bunch of technical problems thrown at him and is rocking it as usual. He's floating around over there in the corner someplace, and he's running both the script, the slides, the video recording, streaming to Twitch and YouTube. He is our personal orchestra conductor. And we love us some Mark. He created the news and update show to bring you the best of what the AltSpace VR community is all about. We live stream to YouTube and Twitch during our show, and we do on occasion film the audience during our discussion. So if you do not want to be filmed during this time, please let us know. We value your privacy. And there's plenty of room in here, so come on in, take a seat, and let's get rocking here.
Thanks again, Mark. And thank you to all of our volunteers who help keep our show running. And thank you for being here every week. If you would like to join the team, we'd love it. Talk to us after the show or join us on our News and Updates Discord, where we bring you the news between the shows all week long. So, Laurel, let's get this party started.
Absolutely.
Okay. On to some AltSpace VR news. And I bet you can't guess what we're going to talk about. So, we know you're excited to talk about this. So, let's get into what we know has changed and what hasn't changed based on the town hall meeting yesterday with Alex Kipman, head of mixed reality for Microsoft and the head person overseeing AltSpace VR.
And before we continue, hello to room 2. Everybody, give us some hearts and applause so that we can let room 2 know that they are Not alone in the world.
Welcome.
Hello, room 2. Our mods will be right in there to help you. Thanks.
Okay, so
Yay.
first of all, mute is now on by default. When you entered this event, you were automatically muted. This isn't a new feature. All new users are automatically muted when they enter a world or event. Now, the option to override that feature is now gone. We know this is frustrating, but it's not new, just switched on by default.
Now, I'm generally okay with that. Aren't you? It's kind of, I know it's frustrating, but it's kind of upsetting to be in a deep, serious conversation in an event and have somebody arrive with a television or music blasting out, or you're going, hey, y'all, I'm here, right when you're talking about something really serious. So having people muted, I think is, personally, I think it's kind of respectful, and it allows the user to come in and kind of absorb what's going on, check it out, check in, and then unmute when they're ready to communicate. So I'm okay with that. I kind of like that. You feel the same? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
A few
Well,
sad faces, but there.
yeah,
Okay,
we'll
you'll have
talk
your
about it in
chance.
a little bit. That's right. Okay, so the other thing is the personal space bubble, referred to in the announcement as a safety bubble, is now on by default, but it can be overridden by the user. It's not much different than it was before, right? Some of us keep our personal space bubbles on all the time, others don't. That's your choice, and it still is. However, I have to say that I never put mine on anymore because I'm always with friends and I feel safe. And we have to keep deactivating it every time we go to a new world.
Yeah, I leave mine on all the time. I just, I just, I don't want people coming that close.
Well, you do a lot of public events too, so you
Yeah.
never know who's going to pop in there.
Well, yeah, it's really intimidating when people get too close and they're like in your face. So, it doesn't bother me. New moderation tools and goodies for events are coming. One of the features that's shared yesterday in the town hall event with Alex Kipman, head of Microsoft Reality at Microsoft, will be the ability to soon check a box or something to set your event to be adults only or restricted by age. We'd love to see that, right?
Hmm. Okay, most social VR platforms and games are restricted to 16 or 18 years old. Microsoft and Altspace decided a long time ago to keep the doors open to 13 and older for a variety of reasons, mostly to allow families and teachers to gather together. To do that, this has to be a safe place, right? For many during the pandemic, Altspace VR has been a lifeline to break down through the pain of lockdown, to spend time together virtually with friends and family. Some of us couldn't have made it through the past 2 years without Altspace VR, right? So keeping this an open but safe platform and community is critical to so many of us.
Absolutely. In January 2021, Altspace VR let us know that the requirement for the Microsoft accounts would be coming, especially with the integration of the holography technology and other specialized feature. In 2021, when Altspace VR faced some very serious trolls, they made changes to the logins to prevent repeat attempts, and the Microsoft accounts are a part of that. The Microsoft accounts go by the acronym MSA, and you'll be seeing that around more often.
In addition to the access to the holographic events, Microsoft Mesh, and other special features, the security and parental controls, which are invaluable, the potential for integrating Office 365 tools and features into Altspace VR are well worth the wait. It feels like a Facebook style decision, but the truth is that the announcement was made in 2019 and nothing has happened. We are actually surprised at their patience. Alex Kipman told us in the town hall the majority of users had already switched, and there was only a small minority who hadn't. I'm one of them.
Now, before we get to the issue of the campfire and the other changes and the things that are not changing, let's talk about whether or not Altspace VR is going to become an all events platform and do away with world building. It is not. Alex Kipman made it very clear yesterday in the town hall meeting that not only is world building not going anywhere, Microsoft is making a huge investment in improving the world building features as well as event features this year. Our ability to create our own unique worlds and worlds for events will continue to expand over the next year. We are very excited about that.
Absolutely. Now to the campfire and what is not going to change. The campfire and public open spaces are gone. Also gone is the Discovery tab in the latest update. And when you enter a world, you are warned that it is unmoderated, which is kind of a pain because every time you enter a world, you have to do a double click. Honestly, what's really changed is the number of screens you now have to click through to go anywhere. We sure hope that changes to single acknowledgments. While the official lobby spaces are gone, the campfire has been converted into a template for anyone to create a world with it, allowing for different individuals and groups to create their own social areas in the campfire. And I have a million people have already done this already. The template lacks the restrictions of the old public campfire, which means you can enable flight and climb around outside of the main area.
For those with the patience to do so, we recommend you get out your flight tool and you fly out over the valley and way beyond. For 2D users, it can take 20 to 40 minutes. You just keep going and going and going. And those with a flight tool, you may move faster, but it will still take a while. It is an amazing experience to stop and look back at the design of the campfire at a distance. Now, during a bug in a campfire a few years ago, Frey and I, we headed out for almost an hour taking pictures as we went. It was like looking at this beautiful time space tunnel mural. It was really cool. And we had such a great and silly adventure in the process, just exploring how far can you go? How far can you go without running out of world? And we went for an hour in 2D, still didn't find the end of it.
Wow.
But it was really cool. I kept taking pictures all the way and we laughed so hard. So now you have a chance. There's no restrictions. Set up the template, go fly out into the distance. It's cool looking.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun, Laurel.
It is.
So now the campfire is gone. We're going to be asking you to share your thoughts and your memories of experiences in the campfire in a moment. So start thinking about them. And Matthew, we're looking at you. Where'd you go?
The campfire was actually a request by the community to expand beyond the original Altspace VR lobby to provide a bigger social space. Altspace VR complied, and the staff moderator moved from the old lobby into the campfire. And in the beginning, it was a place to come together. People would park their avatars there and leave, and have friends come by and leave them messages through the text messaging feature. I always thought that was weird, but it's cool. It's something you could do, or just hang out and chat and let the social circle move around people without participating. Just being around others and having that noise there. That was cool.
Over time, as people moved away from the campfire and more into events and worlds to be with their tribes and with their friends, the campfire became more and more toxic, especially after the world building was made beta and access to the world had to be enabled from the settings panel. People didn't realize that there was more to Altspace VR than the events in the campfire, so they just hung out there. With the toxicity of recent political times, combined with the divisive nature of the pandemic, fewer and fewer people went to the campfire. Most people avoided it at all costs, and that was me also.
Yeah, I only went in there to find staff. Community helpers, with the help of this show's team, started to retake the campfire back by hanging out there, greeting people, talking to them, and changing the conversations in the campfire. We started this late last fall, early winter. Stands with Trees, Matthew, was one of the determined community helper members who took this seriously, and he spent hours in there helping people and really, really welcoming to the community and helping to change the whole toxicity there. It was such a tough job. So thank you, Stands with Trees, so much for your determination, your commitment to the community to help make it a better and a safer space. Thank you.
Yay, Matthew. Over the past few months, we've been bringing you highlights of the news of attacks, bullying, harassment, and even gangs trying to virtually rape women in Facebook Meta's Horizon. We've been thrilled that something that impacts so many of us, no matter the gender, is now front page news. Platforms like Horizon had to rethink their tools, including the recent addition of the Avatar Bumper Protective Space Barrier. As these stories hit the news, Microsoft's dedication to personal safety made them act. Honestly, for most of us, they acted too fast. Maybe they had to, we don't know. But we do know that many AltSpace VR staff members were not happy about the speed either. It feels like the decision came from higher up. So let's not blame the AltSpace VR staff too harshly.
We all wanted to say goodbye to the campfire and maybe discuss its meaning to us, right? We wanted that moment. For those that cared about the campfire, we wanted that moment. We didn't want it ripped away without our community input. Now, the AltSpace VR staff is actually very responsive to listening to the community. Our feedback and our input created this platform. Let's not forget about that. So when this happened, it felt very fast and very troublesome because of the suddenness of it. In reality, that's not their normal operating procedure, no matter what you hear in the gossip. Okay? We don't know what the impetus was to remove these spaces without advance notice, but we know that in the past, Microsoft and AltSpace has spent months warning us of changes and working with us, often delaying those changes to allow the community more time to process. Almost to the point, I got to say, with the URP, it was like, get on with it already. We're done. We're ready for it. Do this. So that was extended forever. Same thing with the avatars and stuff. So rarely have they just changed something without warning. So that was a shock to so many of us.
Alex Kipman did tell us that they've been observing the conversations and actions in these spaces for a long time. They've been listening to the community and hearing their animosity toward the campfire. We know that many of the complaints of bullying, harassment, and assault come from experiences in the campfire. And honestly, how often do you go into the campfire to meet new people and hang out? Honestly.
Really? Do you actually get to meet new people in the campfire? Most of us aren't. Most of us avoid the campfire. And I have heard so many people warn others to stay away from the
Mhm.
campfire, especially new users. And if I were
Yes.
Microsoft and I was looking on where to spend support funding and keep this flowing, the time suck of the campfire isn't worth it. It would be better to take that money and put it into increasing the number of staff moderators, improving what AltSpace does best, events and worlds. Made sense to me once I
Makes
got
sense to
past the
me too.
shock.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a shock. Even if you didn't spend time in there, it was a shock because it's our community and really
Hmm.
anything that affects our community is a shock, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, it's like a strip malls taken down in your city. Maybe you never go to the strip mall, but it's still kind of a shock. So,
Yes, indeed. Well, you bring up a really good point because I remember years ago when I saw Chris. Y'all know Chris from the LGBTQ plus and friends, and longtime member here. Um, he loved the local Toys R Us. And when they announced suddenly they were closing, and one was closing right near him, and he and I, we used to live close to each other, um, was closing, he was so upset that he recreated the Toys R Us and brought it into alt space to have that be the meeting space. And so I love, you're right. That's wonderful. You're right. Yep. We just don't handle change well. So we recreate it here.
Yep,
That's
that's the
true.
beauty of alt space too, the
Yeah,
beauty
I
of
love it.
VR. So, yeah, the campfire was a sacred place. It was a symbolic center of alt space VR. But remember, it hasn't always been here. While it arrived before most of you joined, we had something before that. We had a lobby area to receive new arrivals, and many started hanging out in there. We, the community, also asked for more public spaces outside of the campfire because we weren't happy with the atmosphere in the campfire. So AltSpace VR brought us the info zone and the commons, which few people used. A lot of money went into the development and design of those, and no one used them. Instead, people built their own social worlds and events, and they stayed away from the campfire.
For those who loved hanging out campfire, may create a campfire event. Just hang out there. You got a template you can use. Welcome new people, give it a theme. Remember, if you create an event, the event host or moderator must be present in the event at all times. Don't think you can do a 24-hour event and then walk away. It's the guidelines, it's the terms of service. Just know that that's part of the rules. Got to
Absolutely,
be there.
Laurel.
Hmm.
Okay, we've also heard from many of you that the campfire was important because it was a place to meet people. For the thousands of us who stay away from the campfire, we're meeting people and finding our peeps through events, mostly, world second, right? As I look around the room here to the people I care about most, I didn't meet you guys for the first time in the campfire. We met at events, sharing similar interests, or maybe world hopping. We found commonality and friendship through those events and worlds. We visited each other's worlds and we spent time together without ever touching the campfire. And that will continue.
Now we're coming up to our discussion time, so get ready. Let's answer the questions that many of you have about what is not going to change. Events aren't changing. Host your event, feel safer now, as staff is going to be coming in and out of your event to help if you need it. You'll recognize them not only because the gold name badges, but they are in development right now to have the AltSpace VR logo as a coin floating over their heads. We'll show you that in a moment. So be aware that that's coming. It's still in development, but just continue your events the same way as you always have been. Expect new features and tools to be coming. And if you're an event host, friend the staff so that if you do need help, you can send them a message if there's an emergency or a troll or something, and they'll teleport right in to help.
And if you need them and you aren't friends with the ones on duty, use the support ticket system in your settings, support, upload logs to send a message about the incident and issues. The admins and staff moderators will be actively monitoring these.
Now that's what the oops, if you just go back a second, Mark, that's that coin floating overhead. That's their first draft of that's in development. We saw that at the town meeting. So if you see that spinning over the head, that's one of the things they're considering for the staff. All right, now thanks, Mark. To the question of where do you find people? Many of us have used the Campfire InfoZone as that meeting place to find people. Now just share the code. We wished for years to get an event code. Now we have one for events and for worlds. Give them that 6-digit character thing and say you will meet there. And it really works effectively and you can stay in touch.
Now we have some news about the Community Helper Program. So the Community Helper Program is alive and well and still going. Laurel has been asked to put together a social event for community helpers, and there are two scheduled, one on Sunday and one on Monday at different times for the various time zones. So if you're a community helper, come join us and get to know other community helpers, and let's hear what we all have to say on the subject.
And what a chance. There's new community helpers that are coming constantly, are being added to the system. I want to meet all these people. So I would love to do that. That would be wonderful. All right. To get involved, don't forget, if you're a community helper and you want to get involved, go talk to the AltSpace VR 101 team and the introduction there. There are some exciting new projects that are in development for that program and more. So as a community helper, we know you want to get involved, and community helpers are still valuable in worlds and events throughout AltSpace VR as they welcome people and help them all over.
As for the rumors and suggestions that once again change in AltSpace VR would drive people away and destroy the community, we say hogwash. We've had
Amen.
worse changes happen to us and we're still strong. We've had our worlds destroyed in the recent ERP update, and now we reap the benefits of more realistic and fantastic world building possibilities that no other platform yet supports. We've had our avatars stripped down and reinvented, and we survived that.
And we will survive this. This is just a blip on the changes that are coming down the road for AltSpace VR. We have the potential for migration to Microsoft Mesh and mixed reality, the holography technology, and so much more to look forward to. Personally, I'm excited that Microsoft is paying more attention to AltSpace VR and making it public so that making it public that they not only support the platform but also our community and what we're doing here. That's huge and gives me much more confidence in the future of AltSpace VR.
And as for those who feel this is reason enough to leave, we say, see you later. Many who leave because they feel these changes are personal often come back. We could look around the room and point some of you out, but we're so glad you're back. We won't do that. Let's not forget that hundreds of newcomers join AltSpace VR daily. A healthy community always has people coming and going, and the good ones stick around for the good stuff, right? If this glitch is enough to make you go away, we're okay with all of that. That's your right. And we'll see you later.
Absolutely. Now, there is more, but this is your time. What are your thoughts about the changes and what's going on about the town hall meeting and everything else that's happening? So we're going to be turning on the participation here, and we want to hear from you. We got 2 rooms full of people. We'd love to hear from you on what your thoughts are. Karen, you want to help run it?
Sure, Laurel. Okay, do I go on to the next part in the script or we
Nope.
stopping here?
No, we're stopping here.
Okay, okay.
All right. You got
Wow, we got six people up
yeah.
already. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Stevie Boy, you're first, and you are on air.
Good to hear
And
from you guys. Thank you very much.
yay. Thank you, Stevie.
Um,
And I
uh,
just
I,
hold on just a second. Mark just pinged me. He wants to make sure that everybody's is reminded that we are on air. And Mark, are you going to turn around, or you're going to just let everybody just talk? So we are being filmed. We'll see. And because we want to respect your privacy, I think he's going to stay focused on us, but just letting you know it is being filmed. But if it's okay, he'll turn around. So Stevie, is it all right to film you?
I'm totally okay with that.
Okay. All right.
Um,
So Mark, you can turn around. He's given a permission. All right, Stevie, now go.
okay. So, I completely understand where the updates were coming from, all the people's concerns that led to it, all that. I've heard all of it before, and I'm like, yeah, there should be something done about it. Personally speaking, there wasn't one update that I thought was done the way that it should be, even if there was like 2 months of notice. For
Mhm.
one, with the bubble and the mute, uh, like, yes, it's annoying to have to, after the fact, when someone should be muted, to hear them, to have them not muted. Yeah, that's frustrating, but like if you happen to be one of the comedy events and there's someone who's so new that they may not already know how to use the mute function, because now there's no admin in the campfire to go to, I'll get to that in a second. Um then you might not hear any laughter from people or any suggestions shouted out, and that's very frustrating to me because that means my already lengthy legalese has to be just a little bit longer. Um, and with
But you
regards
can
to the
also tell
campfire,
people, you can say that everyone is welcome to unmute. Just hit the
oh yes,
turn the
I'm
red
saying
from button. Okay.
I have to add to the already lengthy legalese
Yeah.
that I say at the beginning, and that's always frustrating for everybody. But
Hmm.
with regards to the campfire, I I just think I don't know exactly what the solution is because the only solutions I can think of require a higher budget than Altspace than I think we're giving Altspace. But Campfire is where I've had some of my greatest interactions on the platform. And yes, I had to go past a lot of really um, disruptive and sometimes even bigoted people as I've roamed around it. And that's obviously awful. But I don't personally see it as anywhere near as disposable as some people I've been hearing from. I think that it just needs moderation in some way, shape, or form. And in regards to hosting your own, with no disrespect intended towards anybody, I don't necessarily trust just any user the same way I trust one of the one of the lovely CSCs that's been hired to moderate properly. Because agendas play into it, no matter what side of any political spectrum you're on, different opinions on this and that make it so that someone who maybe shouldn't have been kicked end up getting kicked. You're putting that in the hands of just any user. And that's
Well,
just the beginning of my
you know,
concerns, but yeah.
no, I agree. But did you when you walked through all of that bigotry and racism and things that are clearly stated in the terms that nobody reads, the terms of service and the community standards, and yet staff was standing right there within earshot. Freedom of speech also had to be protected too, and that's hard. That's hard. You can't
It's very
bounce
difficult.
somebody because they're, you know. So I agree with you completely. But yeah, it's hard. It's really a tough stuff.
Mhm.
Good point.
Well,
Yeah, I just
yeah.
yeah, with all due
Yeah.
respect, I just see the whole thing as they mean well, but the entirely wrong call, just for me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, and I think it came from much higher up. I don't know, but that's my assumption from the way it was handled.
That makes sense. Thanks,
Anyway, thank
Stevie
you.
boy. It
Thanks,
made some
Stevie.
very good points.
Mhm.
Okay, next up is number 2, or number 1, I should say, is Chris. Okay, Chris, you are
Chris.
on air, so you can accept that and let us know how you feel.
Chris? Okay.
Okay.
Not seeing Chris. Chris
Okay,
the
so
Dama.
all right, so Chris,
Okay,
I'm
Chris is
gonna
muted.
leave.
Chris is
Okay,
muted.
let
So
me. I'm
obviously
gonna.
hit it by mistake. Okay.
Okay, all right. I gave you megaphone again, Chris. If you want to try it.
There you go. Thank you. Sorry,
Okay,
I'm
great.
not normally
Thanks.
this dumb.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Right.
So the thing is, and I think I agree with Stevie, right? Like, yes, I've had bigotry. As a trans person, I've had transphobia, I've had homophobia, I've had this, I've had that, I've had everything thrown at me. However, the thing is, I remember the day when I came into rule space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very shy. I'm very shy when it comes to like chucking myself in things. And I went to campfire, and I was actually able to meet someone who brought me to my first event. It was not because of the campfire. I don't think I would have gone to my first event. I think this is the same with a lot of people who are going to be using this platform for the first time. They're not gonna, no matter what you tell them. Oh yeah, well you can just go into events. Yeah, that won't happen. And and as Alex said yesterday, he's wanting people to make friends at events and then go to events together. Well, what if they can't make that step to the events in the first place?
Right. Agree.
Mhm.
This is part of the challenge we're going to be
It
facing.
is. It is. And everybody has good points to share. Thank you, Chris, for sharing
Thank
that.
you.
Okay, and Nia Witch, you're up next, and you are.
And Nia, we need,
on
need
microphone.
permission when you unmute. If you could give us permission, he'll film you. So I forgot to ask with the other one. Nia? She knows how the button works. Might want to click it a second time. Make sure. Nia?
Okay. Oh, she went off megaphone there. Okay, you're
Okay.
okay, Nia. Try it again.
All right, there, I've got it
There
now.
you
It
are.
took quite a
Yay.
few tries before I got it. Yeah, yeah. So one
Is
of
it
my
okay to
biggest
film you?
concerns.
Is it
Yes,
okay
you
to film
can
you?
film me all you want.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so one of my biggest concerns is I learned a lot in Campfire when I first came in, and Laurel knows how I was totally clueless. She she was the first person I ever interacted with through Discord. So one of my biggest concerns is where are people going to go to find the staff to say, hey, I have this problem, or how do I do this, or so and so is bothering me. Can you help me with this? Because I know that personally, Jinx, who is an alt space staffer, was really tremendous in helping me with someone that was bothering me, helping him to actually leave me alone. And if I hadn't had Jinx that I could go to, I would have been stuck. So that's my biggest concern is where are we going to find the alt space staffers when we need to ask a question or if we need help?
Would you have noticed someone who had a green name tag and asked them?
Yeah, I know that, but sometimes the green name tags don't know the answer. some of the stuff that I've asked Jinx or some of
Really?
the other outspacers. Remember when I was having so much trouble with my audio that I couldn't even talk for days?
Mm-hmm.
Jinx helped me with that. And you
Cool.
tried too.
Yeah.
We did so many other things, but what if somebody else has the same problems? Where are they
That's
going to
true.
go to find the alt space staff that actually knows the ins and outs and how to fix those things or how to
Well,
help them?
I agree. I also think that we need to work harder to really train and inform all of our community helper members so that they know better. They can answer and solve those problems. Absolutely.
Okay,
Excellent
good point.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Okay, next up is my longtime friend, Alfonso. Alfonso, you are on air. Well, looks like you got some feedback there, Alfonso.
That sounds like children and puppies. Okay. Something's not right there.
Alfonso, are you with us here? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna take you off megaphone. I'll leave you up on the panel, or actually, I'll dismiss you and then raise your hand again, and we'll come back to you. So in the meantime, Marcia, you are up. You have megaphone.
Can you hear me?
Correct. Yes, yes, loud and clear.
Okay. I agree with some things that everyone has said here because they each have fabulous concerns. And I use the word fabulous because it's fabulous for them. I personally purchased many Quest headsets for Christmas for my family and a couple of friends. I had to tell them to go into Campfire, meet me at the cabin so we could friend each other so that we could then go and move around and they could follow me and whatever. That's the only thing I really loved about, not the only, but one of the major things I loved about Campfire. The other was being able to go to Faye or Jinx when I had an audio or some sort of project problem with my web projector or anything. You had somebody you could go to. That I am concerned about because this place needs that. Because a lot of us, even oldies, rather than newbies, still have those types of problems. The other thing is, it was suggested to me at the meeting by Drew that we tell our new friends that have just purchased a Quest that they go to a popular world. So you tell them via email, okay, go to this popular world. I'll meet you there. We can friend each other. Because you can't do anything till you friend them so that you can show them around this fabulous, fabulous place that we love called Alt Space. So there's a lot of concerns. And I'm thinking somebody needs to create one world that has questions answered. Maybe somebody could take turns being in
Well,
there so that when somebody has a Jinx question or a Faye question or a Karen question or a Laurel question, they can go there and ask these questions. And maybe on the walls, there could be something like, okay, if you have this problem, this might be a solution or, whatever. Come up. You guys are all idea persons. Come up with some ideas of creating
we
such
we
a
had
world.
yeah, we had several of those and the staff turned it into the info zone. Um, all good points. What we found for years of trying to meet up with people, now that we have the code, we just give them a code. When they come into the campfire,
But
they
how
have
do
to
I give someone
often
a
had to.
code that I've just brought in? How do I
Pardon?
give them the code?
Same way you talk to them. Just tell them, here's the, you send them an email, you send them a text message, you send them a whatever, you just give them the code. And you
All
say, when you
right.
come in, put an entry code, put it in there. In the campfire, because we tried meeting people at the campfire, and we'd be wandering all over the campfire, and there's different versions, and there were mirrored versions and stuff, and we couldn't find people. And we say, meet at the cabin. Well, are you in the daylight one? Are you in the dark one? Are you in the one with snow? Are you not? It was really hard to do that. And so when
Yeah.
we ended up giving people the code, they couldn't find the cabin. There was all kinds of, we give them the code, boom, they're in a world that we control, that is of our choice, and we meet them right at the spawn point. And they don't have to look around, and they don't have to hunt. So just, that's a really simple way to do that, and made it nice and easy. All right, we have time
Thank you.
for just one, maybe two quick questions, really quick, or comments,
so-
comments and stuff.
All right, so we have
Quick
two people
comments.
left. We have Joe Sneaker
Okay.
first and then Lance. So Joe Sneaker, you are on air.
Yes, thank you. And you can actually, I'm on air now.
Yes, you are.
The blue thing on. Okay. What I'm gonna say, campfire is still there. I don't know what everybody. I just left campfire not too long ago.
No,
I
you
see it
didn't.
out there 24/7. But the
No.
question I say, I have a
It-
question.
It's an.
because-
I just hold on a second. That is an event that was created by someone using the campfire
okay.
template. It's not. It's
So
not the
question I
campfire
have-
that we knew of.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I have two questions. You answered that one. I'm glad you answered that one. The
Mhm.
one question is, if there a way you guys can ask the people, because I do a lot of news and events on AltSpace, on YouTube, and I was wondering if they could offer that TV studio, news studio, as a template. And the second question I have is, if you guys have some kind of inside information, if you can have them set up the avatar so we can see our lips move in the mirror or in the camera by ourselves, it will help us out a lot. That's all.
Okay, so first of all, we are not employees of AltSpace. If
Oh,
you're
okay.
doing AltSpace news, you need to ask permission of anyone that you're filming and talking with, just to let you know.
Okay.
It's an international requirement.
Right.
And this template is proprietary, so this one is not going to be shared out because this is ours. But you can make your own.
Oh, okay.
You
All
can
right.
make
Well, thank
your
you.
own. And
Already
in
did.
the public kits, the camera feature that you're seeing up in their stuff, that was made by the producer of this event, Mark, and he has offered that to the community for free.
Cool.
So you can make your own. Yeah.
All right.
But we've been doing this for over 4 years, and this is the single main big source here for AltSpace news and updates. But good luck
All right.
with what you're working on. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Joe Sneaker. All right, and now, whoops, what happened to you, Lance? Can you raise your hand again? You just went away. Is Lance here?
I think he just left.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it then.
All
Laurel.
right. Thank you.
Oh, wait,
a
no,
minute.
wait,
Is that
wait, wait.
Lance?
Hang on. He's back. Okay,
Okay,
there you go,
Lance.
my friend. Up, where'd he go?
Darn it.
There you are.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
I kind of took it off on purpose, and then you kind of made me want to put it back on. And I did. And then we were like, okay,
I
we're moving on. Like,
thought
yes,
so.
Okay.
put it off.
We're running out of time,
Okay,
Lance.
So, yeah. So the only thing that I'm kind of annoyed about is kind of the personal space bubble problem.
Mhm.
I wish they give us a little switch to be able to make it so it's not default on for the people who don't want it turned on, because you don't know how many times I've turned it off. That's been getting kind of to me. So, and you know that, yeah, no, that's about it. So that's all I can think
Okay.
of.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This clicky, 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 clicky. We're all very tired of it. We really, I'm
Yeah.
hoping that it will be, once you accept it, like at the, it's permanently set, or maybe once at the beginning of your session. But the clicky, clicky, clicky business definitely is frustrating. Now we're going to be, we're cutting the rest of our news short because we wanted to give you as much time to talk about these things as possible. So don't look at the screen for a minute, but we want to thank all of you for for your thoughts. We love the diversity of the opinions here, and we really, really, really welcome them. And, this is the most important part about AltSpace. We learn from you, our friends and our community. We don't have to agree to get along. That's the truth, folks. We often forget about that. But by listening to all these varied viewpoints, we learn from each other, and that's what makes a healthy community.
And again, while we agree with a lot of you, the execution of this week's news wasn't well implemented. But it brought the head person from Mixed Reality Microsoft team here to tell us that AltSpace VR is an ongoing concern. that they're allocating money to see it grow and thrive. And we're excited to see AltSpace VR grow into a collaborative metaverse filled with amazing events and social activities and beautiful worlds. And I feel more confident to know that the Microsoft team is working to ensure that AltSpace VR remains the best and safest place in the metaverse. Aren't you guys really?
Absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree, Karen. So thank you, everyone. That is all for this week's news and updates. Thank you for joining us here every week and for celebrating over 4 years of news and updates. Karen.
I'm looking. Go ahead, Laurel.
Okay, when the news you need to know happens, we share it with you on our news and updates Discord so you can get the news through the clutter of all of the information. Please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channels so that others can keep up with the news. Right here and around AltSpace.
We do this. Thank you for the highlight. We do this for you for free. We're not AltSpace VR employees. Our team works hard each week to gather the news and information to help our community keep up with everything going on here in AltSpace VR. Thank you for being here every week to share the latest updates from in and around the AltSpace VR community. We live stream the news onto YouTube every week, and you can catch up with past episodes and more about AltSpace VR events, projects, news, and community activities. This is a labor of love, and we love our volunteer team members who help us gather the news as reporters, moderators, and help us put this show together every week.
And speaking of moderators, our longtime moderator, Ancient I Won't Say, has a new headset, and he is going to be, he's been starting to come back into AltSpace VR. He can't move around much because he's partially paralyzed from his stroke, but he is back. So we just wanted to let you know and cheer him on. So if you see him online, he's usually in a public place, go see him and talk to him. His speech is still an issue, but he misses us so much. So we're so thrilled that he is back. So if you'd like to join the news and updates team, please let us know after the show. We're looking for reporters, photographers, scriptwriters, mods, and so much more. You stay tuned. The news and updates is going to get really exciting here over this next year. So come join us. This is your show as much as ours, and we'd love you to be a part of it.
And thanks to all of our news and updates volunteers and moderators who help make this event such a success. Thank you guys so much. So with these uncertain times, please, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Yay! Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Laurel.
Yay. And all of you who are in room 2, you're about to see us disappear. We're really sorry we couldn't merge the 2 rooms together.